is everyone this morning? Turn this down just a little bit. Where do I start? Yes, I am here with a heavy heart this morning. Have you ever had a day when you just had to remind yourself to just breathe? That's what kind of day it is today. I just have to remember to breathe. I kept telling myself that I was strong. I am strong. And you try very hard to prepare yourself for things that happen in life. And as a mother, it's really hard. Hi, Amelia. Good morning. How are you this morning? You know, when you become a mother, it's the most beautiful day of your life. I'm sorry, I'm having a rough time this morning. No, it's okay. And Poppy knows it. First time I saw my daughter when she was born, and they laid her in my arms. It was the most amazing thing that ever happened to me. I don't know if I'll be able to do this or not. Just breathe. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm strong enough to do this. I'm gonna light a cigarette. This is an adult channel, and I'm gonna smoke. I think I need a cigarette. I need to get my bearings. I want to do this. Because I need to do this. Yeah, I'm okay. When my daughter was born, I was a very young mother. I was 17. And the first time they laid her in my arms and I looked at her, it was the most amazing moment in my life. So much love. And then all of a sudden, so much fear. Fear came over me in a way I can't explain. I knew I was young, and I'm looking at this beautiful, beautiful, innocent child. And I'm wondering, am I going to be a good mama? Am I going to be able to do everything that I need to for you? Will I be able to protect you and keep you safe? That was my biggest fear. So if you're watching this, sweetheart, I love you. We'll make it through this, I promise. I can't be there to protect you right now. And it's breaking in two. Uh, I was trying to prepare myself for this. I knew this was coming, and so did my daughter. And I was trying to be so strong for her. And I didn't realize how tired I was getting. Making some videos on my channel, cooking and baking, keeping myself busy. And I want to thank everyone that stopped in and was so kind and patient with me while I was doing those. It was my way of coping, staying strong, waiting for my daughter's next phone call so that I could be her strength and let her know that everything was going to be okay. And I've tried so hard all my life to protect her, to keep her safe. No matter what happened, I showed her unconditional love. That's what a mother does. And that's what I will continue to do. She's my only child. And now she will be 45 in May. And we were so close. We are close. And as a mother, when your child goes through difficulties, you do everything in your power to see to it that they get whatever they need to help them make it through it. When my daughter was diagnosed bipolar, I had done all the research I could on it. I wanted to educate myself so that I could help my daughter. Any challenge she had, I was there. And this is one journey she has to make without me. And we're not even sure yet how long it's going to be. It could be a year. It could be 5 years. It could be 10 years. You put up barriers for your children. Hydrants. And you try to teach them right from wrong. And you explain that for every action there's a reaction. And that you have to be held responsible for the things that you do. And that one bad choice could change your life forever. And I tried so hard to protect her, to keep her safe. And I have so many beautiful, beautiful photos of my daughter as she was growing up. And I can't tell you how many times I've had those photos out, and those videos out in the last month and a half. Watching the videos and listening to her sing, play, and talk. She's absolutely beautiful. And that was just my way of staying strong. Because we both knew what was coming. And every phone call that I got, I tried to help prepare her. And when she was frightened, I would talk to her and let her know that we're going to make it through this. And you'll come out a better person because of everything that you're about to face and the challenge that's ahead of you. And the whole time I was holding back tears, but I didn't want her to know that. So if you're watching, Mama was trying to be as strong as she could be for you. But the picture that I seen yesterday was a picture I never wanted to see of my daughter. I didn't see her beautiful smile. I saw fear in her eyes. And there I could not be there to hold her or protect her. I feel like I failed. I feel like my fears I had when she was born. Was I going to be a good mama? Could I do everything in my power to protect her? I feel like I failed. And I know if you're watching this, you're going to say, don't cry, Mama. This is not your fault. You didn't do this, I did. We love our children unconditionally, no matter what. We're there for their happy moments. We're there for their sad moments. Every time they get a boo-boo, we're there to fix it, make it better. Hug them, kiss them. On their first day of school, when they're getting ready to go to school and they're afraid, we're there. But I think we're the one that has more fear. But yet we're strong for our children. She's not only my daughter, she's my best friend. And I wish there would have been more I could have done, said. I don't know what more I could have done or said. I don't think I slept, but maybe a couple minutes all night long because I kept seeing my daughter's face and the fear in her eyes. Because I can't be there to protect her. And I know that where she's at right now, she can be harmed at any moment. Uh, my heart is breaking. Oh, please, children, listen to your parents. If they ask you not to do something, it's because they love you. They're trying to protect you. And every choice that you make as a child and an adult not only affects you, but it affects your parents, your family, and your loved ones. I'm going to move this over a little bit. This is not easy for me at all. This is very, very hard. But I'm trying to do my best. So if you're watching this, I just want you to know that Mom loves you. And I'm here for you. And I'll always be here for you, no matter what. And I just hope and pray that I'll still be here for you when the time comes. That I would have the ability to hold you again in my arms and tell you it's okay. But I'm 62. But Mom's gonna hang in there, baby, I promise. I'll be waiting with open arms. unless my Heavenly Father takes me home before then. Please, children, listen to your parents. They love you. They love you dearly. And anytime something happens to you, it breaks their heart. I wish I could get the photo I seen yesterday out of my head. The fear on you, in your eyes, in your face. And I can't do anything. There's nothing I can do. I know you said, Mom, it's not your fault. This is the choices that I made. That put me where I am. But why is it so? Why is it so hard? I'm blaming myself. I feel like I failed. And you keep telling me I was the most amazing mother ever. That I always went above and beyond. And you keep telling me this is not my fault. Please, children, listen to your parents. They love you. They don't want to be where I am today. I don't know if I'm as strong as I thought I was. I try to be strong. Every day I get back up and fight and keep going. Even when I had cancer. I'm sorry. I apologize. My sister trying to call. But I'm going to take a call right now. I'll call her, my sister, back in a little bit. I'm just not ready. My message today, I come here with a heavy heart. My message today is, children, listen to your parents. They're only trying to protect you, to keep you from harm. They love you. And they would do anything in the world to keep you safe. Nobody controls or predicts the future, and whatever comes to be has to be the will of God. And despair is how we process things. It's okay to feel sad. Thank you. I'm a very honest person. And no matter what has happened to me in my life, every challenge, I've got up and kept going and going. And I know this is just one more hurdle in the road. And even though this is happening to my daughter, and she says, Mom, it's happening to me. This is not your fault. I did this. I made those choices. And you begged me not to make these type of decisions. And she's trying to make me feel better. And I know that she's fragile. She's tiny, petite. And I can't be there to protect her. Not this time. So I told her I'm there every day in spirit until the day that we can be together again. I want to be strong for her. And right now I don't feel like I have any of that energy left. I have prayed. I've tried to keep myself busy. And this all started the week going into Thanksgiving. And I'm just getting tired. And we knew this was coming. We weren't sure exactly what day. So we've both been trying to prepare each other. It's still broken. And I need to pick up the pieces and put them back together. So if you see me on here cooking and baking and just coming on for no reason, and you stop in, I want to thank you in advance for that. My heart is just so empty right now. My arms are empty because I can't hold her right now. I know I can soon. Do you think it's possible to love a Christian fully if something bad happens, the sadness you feel now. I'm just grateful that my daughter is still alive. That was my biggest fear the week going into Thanksgiving when she went missing. And even though I knew afterwards the consequences for her actions and what they were going to be, I'm still grateful that my daughter is still alive. I have not lost my daughter, only physically, right here, right now at the moment. I know she can't just walk in my door. She just can't pick up the phone and do a video chat with me. So I wait anxiously for the phone call to come from her. And I use the best of every minute that we get. I don't want to see anyone, any parent, have to go through this. Because most likely you're going to do the same thing I'm doing. You're going to blame yourself. You're going to think you're the one that failed. You failed as a parent. Maybe you weren't strict enough. Maybe you could have done something else. And I kept going over and over everything that I've ever done, wondering what could I have done different. But I don't think that would have mattered. Every one of us makes our own choices in life. And good or bad, we have to accept responsibility for our actions. And that's what my daughter said. This is my fault, Mom. I did this. She said, you tried everything, Mom, everything, to protect me from my own actions, to keep me from getting in trouble. And she said, I did this, Mom. This is my doing, not yours. And she said, Mama, please don't cry. And I tried not to. She's an amazing person. She's bipolar. And she struggles. And she made some really bad decisions. And now she's going to have to stand responsible for those decisions. Does that mean I love her any less? Absolutely not. I love her unconditionally. There is no conditions on a mother's love. None. I just hope that I have the strength and the courage to get up every morning and to continue on and to be strong when she is able to have her freedom back. And she's afraid that I'm going to isolate myself and then take away my own freedom because she doesn't have that right now. And she said, Mom, don't do that, please. And it could be 1 year. It could be 10 years. It's going to be a long wait. But I'll be waiting for every phone call. And I can't wait for visitations. I love her so much. But I'm so afraid for her right now. I know the type of people that are there with her. And I'm so afraid that she's going to get hurt. Oh, this is so hard. I'm glad she's still alive. I was under the wrong impression of her that she might need to grieve. We've got an absolutely beautiful relationship. We always have. My daughter made some very bad decisions. And yesterday I got to see. We knew that she was in one holding facility and that she was getting ready to be transferred to a state penitentiary. And that happened yesterday. And I tried so hard to protect her and to keep her safe. And I've watched over her. And she made some very bad decisions. She didn't harm anybody. But it was enough for her to go to prison. So now I have to say publicly that my daughter is in prison. And her photo yesterday that I got to see, her intake photo, haunted me all night. You could see the fear in her eyes. She's so scared. And I feel so helpless. As a mother, I feel so helpless. There's nothing I can do. But let her know every day and every minute how much I love her. I love her unconditional. Hey, Granny. Hi. I'm having a really bad day today. I tried to prepare myself for this. I knew it was coming. My daughter knew it was coming. I am from Ohio. So I promised my daughter I would not take away my freedom and isolate myself and stay in the house. So I'm going to keep that promise. And I'll just keep preparing for the day when she has her freedom back. So, have I eaten food? Yeah, I did yesterday. I have it this morning. It's too early. I'm having coffee. And I had a really rough afternoon yesterday and a really rough night. Again, this is not how long will she be far away. We don't know. Could be 1 year, could be 10 years. I'm not sure. It frightened me when I seen the possible release date was 2029, November 2029. And I think her first parole hearing will be November of this year, 2025. Sorry, that's tough news to get used. Do you have any friends or family to talk to in the area about your daughter? Yes, I have family, and my sister just tried to call. That's who was trying to call. Right now, I just did not want to talk. I don't know if you can understand. I just didn't want to talk to my family right now. Because I feel like I failed. This is my failure. Sometimes I remind myself there's a time in the future where this will all be past. It's as real as this moment. Yeah, this is real. This is a real moment for sure. No parent wants to go through this, that's for sure. And I don't know. I don't I don't know that my family would think any more than I failed as a mother. This is my failure. This is my only child. I'm from India. Oh, wow. Good morning. I'm sorry right now I'm smoking to calm my nerves and I'm drinking some coffee. Part of me wanted to get in my vehicle and go for a drive, but I knew I couldn't keep my mind straight this morning. And I don't want to be in a vehicle driving and not be completely concentrating on the road. It is night now in India. Oh, it's nighttime. It's daytime here. It is morning. As I got up this morning and the sun started coming out, it was like God saying everything's going to be okay. How is your old? I'm 62. My daughter will be 45 in May. But if you're young and you're out there and you're listening today, please listen to your parents. I understand why you blame yourself, and I sympathize, but you shouldn't lay all the responsibility on your shoulders. Your daughter made her decisions, and who knows who she was hanging out with. And that's very true. And the crowds that she was hanging out with was not good. And she has been in and out of rehab for many years. And every time I stood right there beside of her. And myself, her father, she had a great support group. And we did everything that we possibly could to help her through each step of the way, each challenge that she faced. And unfortunately, this is one now that she's going to have to face on her own. While she's in there. But I let her know she's not alone. I'm here, her father's here, her family and loved ones are here. We'll always be here. You did your best, and that's all you could have done. Don't feel so bad. You're probably a great mother if it makes you so sad. And that's what my daughter told me right before they transferred her, our last phone call, when she was being held at the regional jail. She said, Mama, don't cry. And don't blame yourself, Mama. I did this. And she said, I love you so much, Mama. You are an amazing, amazing mother. And every day I thank God that God gave me you to be my mother. And that was our last conversation before they transferred her. So now it'll be several days before she can call. But when her father sent me the picture, her intake picture from when she entered the state prison, the fear on her face haunted me all night long. My whole body is still trembling. The fear I feel for her. I just want her to be safe. I pray that no harm will come to her. This lady isn't. Hey, are you calling me? Are you calling me that? I am a mother who just watched her daughter's first intake picture at a state prison, and it is breaking my heart. My only child, a child that I love with every inch of my soul. And if you're calling me, I hope that that never happens to you. I hope that your parents are never going through what I'm going through right now. I hope that you personally are not, would never go through what my daughter is about to face. This is real life. This is real reality. This is true heartache and pain and fear for your child, your only child. And you feel so helpless. I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you for being here this morning to listen to an old lady cry. I really thought that I could be stronger than this. I'm trying to be. You go through so many emotions. When she went missing in November, I was scared. I was scared to death. I didn't know where she was. And I was so thankful that they did find her, that she was alive. And then when I found out where she was and then what was coming, I've been trying to every day prepare myself for this. And the only word that I could come up with this morning was failure. I failed. I failed as a mother. And I can't help but blame myself. And even my husband said, Tammy, this is not your fault. I've watched the love that you have for that child, for your daughter. She's so blessed to have you as a mother. You did not fail. She did this. This was her choice. And now she has to stand responsible for the choice that she made. And then the other thought was, today I need a friend. My daughter is my best friend. And yes, I have friends and I have family. But I just wanted to lock myself up here in the house. Good morning. Good morning, Tarzan. I just wanted to lock myself up here in my own home and take away my own freedom until my daughter has her freedom again. And I know I can't do that. She asked me not to do that. She said, I don't want you to be punished for my actions. I'm afraid I'm going to isolate myself. When I was going through cancer surgeries, I isolated myself. The procedures were horrible. And I isolated myself from everyone. I'm glad you're able to express this with us, if no one else. But please, please reach out to your sister or other loved ones when you feel ready. You, we are a substitute for people who actually love you. You are blessed to be here. So that's all that matters. I'll be reaching out to my sister here in a little bit. And she knows that I like to isolate myself. But she's very persistent. She won't allow that. I'm originally from West Virginia, and I'm living in Ohio. But my sister is very persistent, and she won't allow me to isolate myself. She's an amazing, amazing lady. Guilt is normal, even more. Not at fault, like survivor's guilt, not punish yourself. And a way we cope with that, but it's better to grieve and accept and not punish yourself. That's so hard right now. And my daughter told me on the phone the last day we spoke before she was transferred. She said, Mom, you are the strongest woman I've ever known in my life. Sending love from UT. Wish blessings on your daughter. Thank you so much for your love, your understanding. But my daughter told me that I was the strongest woman that she has ever known. And she said I was her rock. And this morning I feel like gravel or sand. I don't feel like a rock. I felt like I'm broken. But I know that I am a strong person. You are strong. And I know I'll get back up again. And I'll dust myself off. And I'll stand proud. And I'll stand by my daughter, regardless of what anyone thinks. She's my child, my only child, and I love her with all my heart and soul. You will keep your head up and pray. Exactly. I prayed last night for strength. Because right now I really need it. I need to be strong for my daughter. I know that she's frightened, and every time that she calls me, she's going to need me to be strong. I know that. Part of me wants to be so angry. As you should, our Creator is who we need. I want to be so angry. You go through so many emotions. I can't be angry at my child because what's done is done. And for every action we take, there's a reaction. Don't let the anger get the best of you. Real women and men cry. I think I went through 100 emotions in a matter of seconds when I saw my daughter's intake picture and the fear on her face. I wanted to yell, "Why didn't you listen to your mom?" And at the same moment, I wanted to reach through that photo and hug her and say, "I love you." Ah, the depression. All my life it's been a struggle. From a very young age, I was 3 years old when I lost my mother from breast cancer. But I had an absolutely wonderful sister who took us all in, all me and all my siblings. And we were all raised as a family. So until I was probably in my early teens, I didn't even know that she wasn't my mother. It was almost like my life was pre-planned. And I had no say in it. And then whenever I found out that I had breast cancer, I was so scared. But I knew I was going to fight because I had a child and I was going to fight with everything I had. And I was going to survive it. And I did. And yes, I smoke. Don't criticize me for it. I should do better, but right now I'm really weak. So after a year's worth of surgery and a long time of therapy, I'm a survivor. And I was able to be there for my daughter, my 4 grandchildren. And life makes you do one of 2 things. You can either give up or you can fight to live. And I'm a survivor. And I know right now I'm feeling pretty weak and broken. Maybe I'm just coming on here today. Maybe someone younger will see this and maybe their life isn't going in the right directions. Maybe it'll help them change their path. Smoking's bad for the lungs, but good for the soul. At this point right now, yeah. I have to agree. I didn't think I had any more tears left. I thought they were all gone. Apparently they're not. No mother wants to see anything happen to their child. And when it does, when they're young and they fall and they scrape a knee, you can clean it, put a Band-Aid on it, kiss it, make it better. But when they get older, it doesn't work that way. And today is one of those days that there's no Band-Aid that can fix this boo-boo. Maybe I just needed to get this all out of my system so people can understand maybe why I'm coming on my channel and doing some cooking and baking and trying to leave some little recipes for my daughter, because anytime she would get in the kitchen and get overwhelmed, she would want to come to my house and be in the kitchen with me, and I could take her through step by step and teach her the recipe. And I'm so afraid that something may happen to me before my daughter has her freedom. So I'm making a few videos, cooking and baking, a few recipes. So if something does happen to me, she's still right there in the kitchen with Mama. Every time she wants to prepare something. So for everyone that stopped in and watched those videos, I appreciate it. You're amazing. I think that was just my way of trying to prepare myself for what I knew was coming. Some people get angry and maybe tear up things. I clean and cook and bake and read. It's just my way of finding comfort, my comfort zone. And I was telling myself, if it's 10 years, I'm going to be 72. Will I still be here at 72? I don't know. We don't know what tomorrow brings. Tomorrow's not promised. So if you're watching this, baby girl, Mama's a little broken, but I'll be okay. I promise I'll be okay. And Mama loves you unconditional. As always, unconditionally. Payson, I'm doing so good. Thank you. It is an amazing gift to receive a child, to have a child of your own. And the first time that you hold that child in your arms is the most amazing gift. You're just overwhelmed with love. That was the most precious day in my life, the day my daughter was born. And like I said, I was a very young mother. I was 17. And as I was holding her and looking down at this new, innocent, little, tiny baby, so much fear came over me. And I questioned, am I going to be a good mama? am I going to be able to protect you? Hello from Greece. Hi. Good morning. And I think all that fear came rushing back in for the first time yesterday afternoon when I looked at my daughter's picture, her intake picture. And I thought at that point, all those fears came true. I failed. I failed as a mother. Or my daughter wouldn't be doing an intake picture for a state penitentiary. And I keep trying to remember her last phone call before she was transferred. She said, Mom, please don't cry. Mama, don't cry. And Mom, don't blame yourself. I did this. I did this. And I told her, I said, I feel like I failed you. And she said, absolutely not, Mom. You're the strongest woman I've ever known. The strongest person I've ever known. You have the biggest heart. You're so kind. She said she could not have asked for a better mama. Even though she was afraid and she knew what was coming. She wanted to make sure that I was okay. And I know she'll grow from this experience. And hopefully she'll never make another choice that could cost her her freedom again. I guess now I just wonder, what am I going to do with the freedom that I have without her? I've never had that before. For 40, going on 45 years. And now I have to wait until our time is served. I think as a parent, you feel that you're doing the time too. You're serving the same sentence. Good afternoon, Lady. Hi from Newcastle, UK. Good morning, wonderful worship. So if there is any young adults in the audience that watch this, or if you see this video, please listen to your parents. If they ask you not to do something, it's because they love you and they don't want to see you make a bad choice in life that will change your life forever. But I know I'm a strong person. I know that I'm going to be able to get back up and shake off the dust, and it'll be okay. Because I am going to be here and be strong for my daughter. The love a mother has for their child is unconditional, no matter what, good or bad. She will be in prison for 1 to 10. We don't know yet. According to her intake photo, of course, it'll be several days before her first phone call is allowed. According to her intake photo yesterday that I seen, she will have her possible release date is 2029. She won't have her first parole hearing until November of this year, 2020, 11/25. So I'm not sure if it'll be 1 year or 10 years. And of course, they won't tell her at this point. She was in a rehab center, and she came out of the rehab center and she had made it to group living, and she's bipolar. And in the middle of the night, she took one of the roommates' vehicles and drove off, and that is grand larceny. That's what happened. And they gave her every opportunity to try to not end up going to prison. And she entered into a drug program, drug court. And she had to follow all of the rules for 12 months. And if she did that and got a job and went by all of the drug court rules, then it would be dropped to a misdemeanor and she wouldn't have to go to prison. Unfortunately, she broke the probation, and this was the consequences. So now the deal that she had was revoked, and now she will have to go to prison for 1 to 10. And through that whole year, myself, my husband, her father, her siblings were all there for her. I helped her set up her apartment. I furnished her apartment down to the dishes and silverware, cookware. I was only minutes away, so anytime that she needed anything, we were right there, myself and my husband. That doesn't mean she makes it any easier for you to love her. And you can be mad and frustrated at her for that, even if you'll never stop loving her. But even if she needed cigarettes, just within minutes, my husband and I, instead of taking a pack of cigarettes, we'd take a carton. She was doing so good, and she was down to her last 2 months of the program. And she had a mess up, and they asked her to go to rehab for 30 days, so she did. So I thought that was very, very considerate of the drug court to give her that opportunity. And then she messed up again. And the second time, they revoked everything. So the deal she had was revoked. So now she has to pay for her mistakes. And she's being a very good adult about it. She said, "Mom, my only child is also heading for jail in June until 2028. I'm so sorry. I hate to hear that. I know what you're feeling right now." You feel so helpless as a parent. You feel like you failed. It's your fault. There's so many things going through my mind right now. That year that she was so close to having everything dropped to a misdemeanor, I was so proud of her. I made sure that her house was fully furnished. Anything that she needed, I was right there. I was only minutes away from her, and all she had to do was call. If she started to feel like she was going to have a slip up, she would pick up the phone and call, and we would do a voice chat or Facebook chat. And she was so close. She was down to 2 months. So I understand addiction. My daughter has dealt with it for years, but she was never going through it alone. Myself, her father, her siblings, her family, her loved ones, over and over, we got her into rehab, and she would do really good. And a lot of it was because she is bipolar, and she would be feeling good, and then she would go off of her medications. And I could tell when she was going off of her medications. So, of course, I would make sure that she would go back in, get back on her medications. But it still happened. And I'm like, how did this happen? She was down to 2 months. And now this is the consequences. And I have to accept it. And my daughter has to accept it. Her father is devastated. I am devastated. But there's nothing we can do. We went beyond and above. No one has any idea how much her father and I have done to try to protect her and to keep this from happening. This was one of my biggest fears, that she would end up getting in trouble, and she did. And the court system was so good with her and allowed her to make an agreement with the drug court. The drug court was amazing. They have an absolutely wonderful program. And she was so close. She was down to 2 months. And they were very lenient on the first mess up. She will be 45 in May. So yours will be 29. Wow. And people think that you're going through this alone, and you're not. There's so many other people that are going through this. And you'll never hear me criticize anyone for any addiction. I've watched my daughter, with her being bipolar, I have watched her go through so many changes and ups and downs. And no matter what, I was always there. I never judged her. I understood what bipolar was. And she would say, "Mom, how can you love me? Sometimes I'm really hard to love." And I told her, I said, "It's absolutely easy. I'm your mother. I love you unconditionally." And I was told a long time ago by her therapist and psychiatrist and doctors who explained what bipolarism is, and that a lot of them end up going in the wrong direction. Some of them do become addicts. Hello, I'm new, listening, live streaming videos. Well, thank you. Good morning. So, I knew by talking to her therapist, by researching bipolarism, And there is a very, very high percentage of them that do turn to self medication. And most of them that turn to self medicating do become addicts. And unfortunately, that's what happened with my daughter. And it has been 20 some years that she has been in and out of rehab. She has struggled. She has accomplished many things and then would struggle, and then you would see the accomplishments. And it was so hard to watch from a distance, but yet I still had to allow her her space, but always be there in any minute that she needed me. And unfortunately, this is where we ended up today. And I'm doing this with respect because I love my daughter. And just the way it is. I'll always love my daughter. And there's nothing that she can do that's going to change that. Be it her achievements or her failures. There's nothing she can do that will change that. So if you're going through something similar to what I'm going through, I just want you to know there's people out there that understand. Don't think you have to go through this by yourself. There's people that do love you that will stand by you. And stay strong. And no matter what happens, I want all you children out there to know, and young adults, your parents love you unconditional, no matter what, good and bad. And if they ask you not to do something, it's not because they're being mean. It's because they love you and they don't want to see any harm come to you. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here and get the strength and the courage to call my sister. She called me earlier on the live. I know my sister won't judge me or make me feel any more of a failure than I already do. She won't allow me to do that. So I'm going to get off of here and make that call. It'll be the first of many calls to my family members. And it's not going to be an easy day. Some of my family knew this was coming, but they didn't know when. But she has been now transferred from the jail to the state prison. And I had to accept the fact and the reality that my only child is in prison right now. It breaks my heart. It broke my heart. It broke me. Yesterday afternoon, when I saw my daughter's intake picture and the fear in her eyes, she's so scared. And I feel so helpless. So, love your parents. Listen to your parents. And if my daughter is listening to this right now, she knows. I don't have to say it. I love you, sweetheart. And if it's 1 year or 10 years, if God gives me that time, I'll be right here waiting with open arms. And I'm going to miss you every minute of every day until the day that you have your freedom again. I'll be waiting for every phone call. I love you. I love you so much. Always and forever. Unconditionally. I want to thank everybody that was here today. I want to thank you for your kindness and your understanding. While Mother's heart broke this morning, thank you. And if you're facing something like this in your life, my prayers will be going up to you, to your family, to your loved ones. That you have the strength to stay strong through it all. And that something good will always come out of something bad. We have no control over other people's actions. But I'm not here to judge. That's not my job. I'm here to love you, child. That's it. You're my only child. You are my sweet, sweet daughter. I can't wait until you come home. I'll be here waiting with open arms. I love you. See ya.